The River Travel Podcast is about travel stories along America's rivers and the road trips that will take you there. Come with us as we chat with festivals, attractions, eateries, and destinations that call River Valleys home. Come for a visit and find out more at rivertravelmagazine.com.
So on this episode, we're chatting with Donovan Martin of USA River Cruises, based out of Vancouver, Washington, but serving all over the world. So Donovan, tell us about USA River Cruises.
Yeah, Brent, USA River Cruises, we actually started in the mid-90s as just a regular travel agency that was, encompassed everything, that back then that we used to do, airlines, cruises. And then in the early 2000s, Cindy Anderson, our owner, started selling a lot of river cruises on the Columbia River here, where we're located, and then on Mississippi River. And so she actually just switched the whole business model and went to strictly specializing in river cruises. So that's basically, we've been doing that since the early 2000s. All of our agents are trained, and they've actually been on a lot of our cruises that we specialize in. So we just do river cruises now. We do have a separate air department that we can, book airlines for people, but all of our agents are highly trained in the river cruises in the U.S., Europe, Asia, Canada, and even some of the rail trips here in the United States and Canada.
So, just going to your website, can you kind of give us a rundown of the different boat itineraries, even the theme cruises? You got stuff from all over the world.
Yeah, sure. So our main top sellers, I would say, are right now are the Mississippi River, which they have all kinds of itineraries on the lower Mississippi, going from New Orleans to Memphis. It's a really popular one, especially in the spring and the fall. And then the upper Mississippi in the fall is a really nice one. They go St. Paul to St. Louis, or vice versa, on all of these actually. And as far as theme cruise goes, we have quite a few different themes. So there's a lot of big band on the Mississippi. There is Civil War history cruises, music of the 50s and 60s, celebrate the 70s. There's some bourbon cruises. There's all kinds of different theme cruises on the Mississippi. Now, when we get out west to the Columbia River, which is also one of our more popular cruises, there's a lot of Lewis and Clark and Native American history. So we'll have historians on board the whole cruise on pretty much all of our boats. So there'll be nightly lectures and talks. The passengers will be traveling the same path as Lewis and Clark did, back in the day. So yeah, those are two probably biggest sellers right now. And then we do have 4 different ships that do the Great Lakes, a lot of Chicago to Toronto or vice versa on that. Then the East Coast, we have boats and ships on the Hudson River, the New England Islands, which does Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, beautiful part of the country. Done that cruise myself a couple times. Maine coast and harbors. We also do a couple down in the south too. We have Charleston to Jacksonville cruise that kind of does the intercoastal waterway there. Then we also have a Great Rivers of Florida cruise. So those are kind of our main sellers right now, and those are the most popular cruises that we offer in the United States.
So for someone like me, I have to admit it, but I've never been on, one of these larger big boat trips, ocean or otherwise. What can a first-time cruiser expect from a trip like this?
Yeah, so actually our ships, they're actually smaller. So most of our ships range from about 100 passengers to our largest one on the Mississippi, which is the American Queen. It's 420 passengers. So actually these are smaller ships, which are nice because you don't have the big crowds. When you're going from port to port, it's, you and 99 other people. And we do have a lot of our shore tours that are specifically set up for all of our guests. And, a lot of them are private just to our guests as well. So it's actually really nice. And the big difference, I would say, between like our ships and the big ocean liners is that they're a lot more inclusive. So we do include, on most of our boats right now, we are including all alcohol, so beer, wine, liquor. We are including all sodas, coffees, stuff like that as well. And then all the meals are included, daily cocktail hours, there's nightly entertainment. A lot of our tours on the Columbia and the Mississippi, they also include shore tours, which, usually those come at an extra cost. So we are including a lot of those as well. Basically, the main thing I would say about our, cruises that we specialize in is that they're as inclusive as any cruise line out there.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at these different boats, this isn't, what you'd kind of expect. You have some brand new boats too, right? Some ones that are kind of more of the European style that are on the rivers now?
Yeah, so we do have 4 that have been built in the last 2 years. So 2020, obviously, there wasn't much cruising going on. So they're they're basically brand new for 2021, a lot of these ships. And the main differences, I would say, in these new modern ships are larger cabins. So a lot of them start around 350 square feet, which is fairly large. And then also they have, almost all of them have a private balcony now. So that's a really nice feature of these new ships. And also another thing that's kind of neat on these newer ships, there are more single cabins. We have a lot of, people that want to go on one of these cruises by themselves. So in the past, it's, a lot of the older ships that we have, they only had 2 single cabins or 1 single cabin. Where these newer ships we're offering, there's usually 8 to 10 single cabins. So that's kind of a nice feature, and a lot of our single travelers are really enjoying that. And moving forward, I think it'll be a nice feature for all of our travelers.
So for you, I'm sure you've been on a number of these boats. Is there any one in particular or a few of them that you would suggest to anyone?
Yeah. On the Columbia River, I've been on the American Song, and it actually has a sister ship called the American Harmony, and so they're pretty much exactly the same, but very beautiful, very modern, huge cabins, 350 to 900 square feet if you were looking at like an owner's suite. That one has been a really big hit lately. And then we have another boat that we sell called the American Countess that is just starting this year as well. It was supposed to start in 2020, but it's just starting. That one, it's a nice river boat. So that one will have more of the Victorian feel on board, but still all the modern amenities.
So, at River Travel Magazine, we've actually partnered together with USA River Cruises over the last couple of years, giving away, we did a Big Boat Sweepstakes on the Mississippi River. Now people can actually sign up to win a sweepstakes for 8-day Columbia and Snake River cruises. It follows the path of, like you said, Lewis and Clark. So if people want to find out more, what's the best avenue for them to go to?
Yeah, you could come to our website. It's usarivercruises.com. And, you can kind of look for the different areas of the country. So we have basically a destinations link where you can click on all the different destinations that we offer. Canada, Columbia River, East Coast, Lower Mississippi, Mexico. So we have all kinds of different links there, and it'll show you all the different cruises that we offer in those areas. That's a good place to start. And you can always call us. Our agents are here, Monday through Friday, and we like, people calling in, and we can go over all of their needs and all of their wants and set them up on the perfect vacation for them.
River Travel Magazine is partnered with USA River Cruises. We're giving away a Big Boat Sweepstakes, Columbia River Cruise, running throughout the next year here. The winner will be able to explore the beauty and history of the Pacific Northwest on an 8-day Columbia and Snake River cruise. Enter at rivertravelmagazine.com.
Experience the Great American Road Trip and take a ride on the nation's scenic byways and backroads that highlight rivers throughout the United States. Explore the people, places, and culture of river towns throughout the U.S. Visit rivertravelmagazine.com. You can subscribe to the River Travel Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.